What's up, guys? It's Jay, MorninAfterKill, and it is now December, and we're getting close to the holidays, and pretty soon we're gonna be wrapping up 2014 with a neat little bow. And let me just say that it's been a crazy year for gaming in 2014. This was supposed to be the year that gaming was reinvented. We had new consoles, new franchises, new mechanics, and of course, who can forget, this is gonna be the year that the double jump became standard in first-person shooters. But instead, this is gonna be remembered as the year of the flop. Now, we can blame most of the flopping being done by Ubisoft over there with their Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed Unity with their glitched out people scooting on their asses throughout the city, and then, of course, the crew had some pretty terrible physics where a car could crash at 140 miles an hour and just bounce off of a tractor trailer without no problems. But it seems that 2014 is a year that a lot of titles have flopped, but at least for Respawn Entertainment and Titanfall, their games sold enough copies to warrant a sequel. So even though it kind of failed, it still succeeded in the fact that we're going to see a Titanfall 2 across all platforms pretty soon, and hopefully they learn from their mistakes, like actually adding in features to the game. People love those features. I feel like, all in all, that we've had a pretty good year of gaming in 2014, and I figured, you know what? We got all these video game awards being given out, so let's go ahead and run down my top 5 games of the year, and I can actually sit here and say that I am dressed better than them motherfuckers that were on those video game awards showing up drunk as shit, hair all greasy. Can you get a shave? I don't care if you got a beard. Can you shape that shit up? I don't need to see fucking 5 big-ass strands of hair coming out of your cheek, motherfucker. It takes 2 seconds to take a pair of scissors and go, clip. Just fix that beard, motherfucker. Shit looks ugly. So, let's go ahead and take a look at my top 5 games of the year, ultimately culminating in my choice for the game of the year. So, number 5, we have Infamous Second Son. What? Mac, you're coming out of left field with this one, and I feel like this game deserves to be mentioned as one of the top 5 games just because it was a PS4 exclusive game at a time when there wasn't a lot of games to play on the PS4. So while other games this year suffered from like game-breaking bugs and everything, the only thing that Infamous Second Son really suffered from is what I call Assassin's Creed gameplay syndrome. It basically tasks you to go here, do this, climb on top of that, jump off of this, talk to this guy, kill this person, and then move on to the next city and rinse and repeat. Now, while it was still a great game, it was devoid of any massive failures or faults, and it really helped solidify the PS4 as an early contender to top console wars, and I think this game just deserves to be up there for what it did for the PS4 early on this year. So, we're gonna go ahead and move on to number 4. Tales from the Borderlands. Now, what can I say about this game that I already haven't said about it? It's an absolute home run. It's a gem. Telltale Games just has a great natural ability to bring out stories and extend universes that already exist but have very little depth to it. And the fact that they were able to make Pandora feel like a living, breathing place, it's nothing short of amazing. But the fact that I was able to laugh and feel sad in the same scene, it's a true testament to Telltale's talent for writing and bringing their, emotion forefront to the table. And, I know it's only 1 episode out of 5 that will be released, but I've gotten more enjoyment out of those 2.5 hours than I did with full-scale releases, and you can bet your ass I'll be willing to go back to play that episode over again, but I can't because I don't want to ruin my playthrough. But I do have another Steam account that I can buy the game on and play it because I enjoyed it that much. But that's the point of games, isn't it? To enjoy yourself. So, bam! Number 4, Tales from the Borderlands. We're gonna go ahead and move on to number 3. South Park. the stick of truth. How do you say anything bad about this game? I mean, it finally delivered something that no other South Park video game could, and that's a true South Park experience, and that's no surprise though. This game went through developer hell. It changed hands multiple times, and all the way through, all the different developers, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, were walking that game through development, holding its hand, helping with animation, and also they did most of the writing. And finally, what we have, the end result after switching hands so many times, is basically a playable South Park episode. But instead it lasted about 12 to 14 hours long. If you're a fan of South Park, that is absolutely everything that you've been waiting for. I mean, all the characters were there, the voices, the jokes, even the story. The story was on par with the South Park movie, except the game actually had better animation than the movie. That's because, the movie did come out 15 years ago, so, technology did get a little bit better, but to have that animation, that top peak animation, is absolutely amazing. And the fact that the actual RPG aspects of the game were on point, it makes this game everything that not only a South Park fan should try, but if you are a gamer that loves RPGs, you should pick this game up sometime in the future. I have a feeling that it's probably going to be very, very cheap going down the road, but this is one of those games that I was hoping would receive some story DLC, but it never did, and that's not a bad thing, but sometimes I guess developers feel like it's just best to leave well enough alone, and the fact that this game almost didn't come out, almost never happened, I'm happy with just being able to play this game. So that's number 3, South Park, the Stick of Truth. Then coming in at number 2, Destiny. Wait, what? Mac! How the fuck can Destiny be your number 2 game of the year? Don't you love this game? Does that mean the pre-sequel is your number 1 game of the year? Right, alright. Back up that train of thought. Let's look at this objectively, alright? Number 1, I love Destiny. It's it's everything that I want in a game. It's fun, has great controls, the visuals are fantastic, and it's set in a deep and immersive universe that you just want to sink yourself into, and you get lost for hours. But the problem is the game doesn't really allow you to immerse yourself into it, because each activity is accompanied with an excessively long loading screen, combined with the need to scroll through multiple screens just to get to the activity you want, and then the entire exposition of the game's universe takes place outside the game with the Grimoire cards on Bungie.net. Those are just 2 of the reasons why I can say that it's not Game of the Year for me. But the biggest reason is because every time they get to a good part in the story, the narrator says, "I could tell you, but we don't have time." Well, motherfucker, guess what? I got some time. So how about you get on out with it? So that's the reason why Destiny isn't my number 1 game of the year. So if you take a look back at this, you're gonna be like, Destiny, South Park, Tales from the Borderlands, Infamous Second. Alright, I see, Mac. You're picking games that you've actually played, and you're not going off by review scores. That's right. That's correct. So if you're seeing a game up here that you probably think shouldn't be up here, remember that I didn't get to play every single game this year. So there are games out there like Shadow of Mordor that you might feel should be Game of the Year on my list, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet, specifically because Monolith has already fucked me over twice with Gotham City Imposters and Lord of the Rings, Guardians of Middle-earth. I have a really hard time trusting Monolith and giving them my money again. Even though Monolith makes great games, they just have shitty netcode for multiplayer, so it might be a fantastic game. It looks pretty cool, but I just haven't had a chance to get into it. So, Mac, what's gonna be your number 1 game of the year? Walking Dead Season 2! What? Alright, I know I gave Walking Dead Season 1 a hard time when it won Game of the Year against Borderlands 2, but I didn't get to play it yet at that point, and I played Walking Dead Season 1 last year, went all the way through Season 2, and I gotta tell you, The Walking Dead is just an absolute masterpiece of a game. It doesn't get any better than this. Probably has the best written story to a game ever made. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. It has everything. It's got suspense, drama, hopelessness, fear, and it's all intertwined with smart humor, emotional attachments, and the uncanny ability to make you feel like your decisions actually mattered, and that you got the ending that you were supposed to get. And it's that sense of ownership that this game gave you through your playthrough. It's indescribable. You need to experience this for yourself from Episode 1, Season 1, all the way to Episode 5 of Season 2. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, you know, I can tell you how great the action is, and, you know, how well the game is drawn, and the animation and everything looks fantastic, but it did something that most sequels don't do today. And it delivered on a promise that Telltale made with Walking Dead Season 1. And with little trust left in the gaming industry, it's nice to see that you have a developer with a familiar face that's actually giving you your money's worth. And that right there is priceless. So, my name is Jay. MorninAfterKill. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you could leave a thumbs up on the video, I'd highly appreciate it because it gives me motivation to make more videos for you motherfuckers and watch my motherfucking videos. This was my top 5 games of the year. I know that Borderlands, the pre-sequel, didn't make it up there, and it probably would have if they just left it alone after the Handsome Jack DLC so far. It probably would have came in at number 5. But since Gearbox has done this, you know, fixing of the things and doing things that people don't like, they dropped out of there. And I recognize Infamous Second Son as being one of those games that just really helped out early on. And it's not going to get any respect later on in the future, but it was just a solid game, good gameplay, great graphics, and, you know, that's what you need when you have an exclusive game coming out 2 months after launch. And that's why it belongs in there. I don't even feel like why I should be explaining this to you. I've already explained it. So, like I said, my name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Let's hope for another great year together. Love you guys. See you guys later.